George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. Well, are you a business that's looking to grow? How about this? Do you want to grow fast? All right, well, maybe it may take a little bit longer than fast, but how about accelerate? I've got just a program for you, and we got just the people on this call, in this interview, in this moment that's going to help you. And we got some of the baddest people around. Can I just tell y'all some of the baddest people around? Now, first, I want to let you know that we have, first of all, Abner Larrieux. He is the president and CEO of A.L. Consulting Group LLC and Alacrity. And they are based in New York City. And they're the lead contractor on the Business Growth Accelerator Program coming to Syracuse and Central New York. Also, we have one of the lead consultants and subcontracting consultant, Michelle Rowling from Rowling Enterprises. And now y'all know me and Michelle, we go back. we like that. I think that anything that Michelle does is going to be done with excellence, and this is another project, and I'm so excited for her. And of course, speaking of elegance, look at Charlene Tarver. She got a grand piano behind her. That tells you everything you need to know about her. She's a subcontracting consultant and executive director and of the CNY Cohort. And the Business Growth Accelerator is a program that we're really excited about. Help me out, Michelle. What's it all about?
All right. Well, first of all, George, thank you for having our trio on this evening. It truly is a pleasure to be on Inspiration for the Nation again. And so New York State has a program in its third year called Business Growth Accelerator, or BGA. And this program is designed for MWBE certified women and minorities in the construction industry. And there is a revenue threshold that our team will, address and get into. But the bottom line is that this program is designed to help that particular audience to learn how to scale up for prime contracting opportunities. The truth and reality is that, most businesses of that caliber are wielding the hammer by day and also performing all of their back office functions. So when you do that, how are you able to scale up to become a prime contractor, like Mr. Larrieux is, right? A prime, and be ready for the likes of Micron or 81 or state contracting or the local opportunities that are available. So that's essentially what the program is designed to do. It is statewide. So Mr. Larrieux oversees New York City and the Central New York Cohort, and Charlene and I are his assistants here upstate to make it happen.
This is exciting. And so, Abner, talk to me about your business and how you became so successful at what you do.
Sure. So it's really a pleasure to be with you all tonight, and specifically joining the Inspiration for the Nation show. This is I want to, give it back to you, George, for the excellent work that you've been doing for over 2 decades. So A.L. Consulting is a boutique economic development compliance company, right? So I'm an urban economist, and when I tell people I'm an urban economist, they say, well, what does that mean, right? And so for the first 7 years in my business, I work with large prime contractors, government agencies, and the problem that we were solving is, how do you pull the lever to get and identify qualified small businesses to participate on government contracts. Oh, yeah. We know that government contracts represents a wealth opportunity. So if you're listening to this show and you're saying, well, what does government contract mean? How do I get involved? So we did that very successfully, working on a number of different projects, right? So arts and cultural projects. If there's a museum going up, we would get involved. It's an education program, education project, schools being built, we would get involved in that. Healthcare, that's one of our major verticals. So hospitals that are being built, we would get involved, and we always joke, we say we follow the money,
Mm.
so that when a project is being built in an undeserved or minority or Black community, that the dollars that are being spent stay in that community. So you almost need to have a sheriff, right? So we see ourselves as a sheriff, and we wave the hammer when need be. But that's really the work that we've been doing for the past 20 years, driving economic development opportunities for Black and brown businesses.
I love it. And so in this particular project, though, we're talking specifically construction firms or construction related?
So good question, George. So we're targeting construction firms. So what that means is if you're listening to the show and you are a mechanic, or you're a plumber, or you're an electrician, maybe you're a trucker, this program is for you. And then we also said, how do we expand this to cover construction adjacent firms? So now we're talking about professional services. If you're an architect or an engineer, there is an opportunity here for you. And then, as you well know, there is this mega project that's happening in Syracuse,
Might have heard of it.
Micron, and the work there is really focusing on companies that manufacture chips, right? So there are opportunities for companies who are in construction to pivot and to be ready and positioned for this project and with Micron. Uh,
If you are just joining us, we're talking about the Business Growth Accelerator Program coming to Central New York in a couple of weeks, y'all. So this is an opportunity for you to get in right now. We're making room for you in this particular program, joined by Charlene Tarver and Michelle Rowling. They are consultants on the project with Abner Larrieux as the lead prime contractor on the project to get you into this program. And Charlene, you are the program person. What is your job, my sister?
Well, Mr. Kilpatrick, first of all, thank you so much for having us this evening. Truly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and, of course, to reach the community through your viewership and your listenership. You know me largely through the Women's Economic Institute, and having worked with me, you know that we have a real passion around community and economic development, but a real focus on business growth, specific to minority and BIPOC-owned businesses. You also know us through the Southside Renaissance Project, which is the project that we're building out on South Ave. And you know my family through Oasis Fish House. So we have a few synergy points. And so when presented with the opportunity to work on this project, I was absolutely thrilled, because I understand all too well that there is a huge need to have diversity in the construction and construction-related industry here in the city of Syracuse, as the city is preparing for the incoming of Micron. It's going to be very critical that we get our businesses, our MWBEs, in line to take advantage of all of the opportunities that are going to come in through that project and so many others that are currently happening. And so my role as the executive director is really to deal with the day-to-day of the project. And so if you ask, well, what does the accelerator entail? What the accelerator entails is, first, it's an 18-month executive education program. That program will include monthly in-person educational training. It also includes mentorship and coaching. So all of our MWBEs will be assigned mentors and coaches. We have a 6-point business diagnostic to assess where your business is, and then where there are perhaps some areas for growth. Let's say, for example, it's bonding. And then that gives us on our end something that we can focus in on to be able to help strengthen that business. We also will offer a 5-year business growth strategy. So is something that we'll be working with our businesses to put together. We have some very experienced businesses that will provide assistance with bidding and contracting opportunities, because the end result here is to move from the educational session into contacts, into actual contracts. So moving from contacts to contracts. So another core component is the quarterly networking sessions, as well as our lunch and learn sessions. And then, really just creating, again, a space for our alumni audience, once they've completed the program, to be able to work more synergistically to compete and bid on contracts. So I think at a very high level, that's what my role is to oversee the daily operations of the project and make sure that our businesses are moving through our pipeline.
And somebody's getting ready to say something.
I think what I was going to do is ask if we could kind of just take maybe a quick moment to have Abner talk a little bit about the business diagnostic, that 6-point business diagnostic, because I think oftentimes businesses want to know, well, when I come into this program, what's the WIFM? What am I going to get out of this? What's in it for me? And so to really talk about that 6-point business diagnostic and the real commitment to contracting opportunities.
Sure. Thanks so much, Charlene, for that. So one of the things that we've stressed in our program is that we want to provide you with 3 key strategic assets, right? So it's the technology that will propel you to go to the next level. It's the coaching, and then the business development. With the Alacrity Analytics tool, it is an AI-powered solution that, as we talked about, a 6-point diagnostic that collects data on the business across 6 different areas. So think about your finances, think about your operations, your back office, think about your insurance or bonding. Oftentimes, there are blind spots where companies are hitting a ceiling and they're not realizing what's preventing them from going to the next level. And so what we've done is we've developed a tool that assesses we're doing pre and post surveys, right? So at the beginning of the program, we're assessing you and then creating a customized plan that will then allow you to see what's your roadmap for success. So the tool allows you to essentially take the data, develop key insights, and make important decisions in your business. So as an example, when gearing up for a new project, a lot of times companies will have a certain amount of capital in place to manage the job. Well, you have to be able to project your cash flow in a way that allows you to complete the job. And or if you're doing government contracts, we know that there's challenges with payment. So when you're a company that's preparing themselves to grow and to compete at a very high level, you need to have that information. So our community, oftentimes we're really excited about the contract, but then if we don't have those other pieces in place, it really makes it challenging. The other component of the software that I'm really excited about is that through our relationship with Cornell Tech University in New York City, we've been able to get the best engineers who've developed the most robust AI tool. So what does the AI tool do? Well, as a busy entrepreneur, we're always trying to find ways to identify the work, right? So some people may, if you're old school, you're going to networking events, shaking hands, or submitting proposals. Well, we figured out a way through our first cohort that if you give us a profile of your business, so if you're an electrician and you say, I am really expert in wiring, I can install wiring, CAD 3, etc. We collect this information on your business, and then the algorithm runs through in milliseconds thousands of pages of RFP and bid documents, and then it spits a report, a match actually. So if you're electrical, you're going to see a number of bids relating to electrical work. And so it saves you, if you're a busy business owner, it saves you time, energy, and the hassle of having to spend money on business development resources. We know how expensive it could be, hiring people to do business, but that's really the heart of the business, right? Your ability to generate work. So those are the two aspects of the solution of the tech solution. It's the pre and post surveys, and then the AI contract matchmaking tool. You're on mute. I can't hear him.
So to the audience, I keep trying to say to Michelle that you talked about a certain threshold that people had to meet to be eligible for this program. What is that threshold?
Certainly, it's the businesses need to generate or conceivably generate annual gross revenues of $500,000 to $5 million a year, George.
Right. So, like, I don't want to say standard, but like, this is not mom and pop.
Yeah. So let me add a footnote to that, right?
Okay.
So
Or it could be mom and pop.
yes, let me add a footnote. Let me add a footnote to that. So the state has laid out some very, very strict requirements with respect to revenue thresholds. However, for the listening audience, if you are a company in construction and you have you're on what we call a trajectory for growth. So what does that mean? While it's 500,000, if you can show us that you have contracts for 2024 that demonstrates 300 or 200,000, you need to talk to the Central New York Business Growth Accelerator. So we're treating it on a case by case basis when it comes to the revenue.
Mm.
So I don't want any people to be deterred from
So,
applying.
and also, and what's the requirement? Is it how much does it cost? Or no, we don't want to say cost. What's the investment? Yes. What's the
Yeah,
investment?
so that's a good question, right? Because time is money. But I have some good news to share that this is a program that is free in terms of monetary investment, but it does require a certain commitment, right? And so what
Right.
are the commitments? The commitment is we're requesting that you participate in an in-person session for 2 hours once a month. So that's one of the commitments. The other commitment is that you complete your growth plan. We want to make sure that you develop your sort of roadmap for success, and then to most importantly participate in the lunch and learns. One of the things I'll share with you, George, is that we have developed what's being touted as a national model for economic inclusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is we've taken a look at some of the gaps. We've taken a look at some of the competing programs. What sets our program apart? Well, as I mentioned, I've spent 20 years driving hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to the minority business community across the country.
Oh, so you're the godfather.
No, not quite. Some people there are people who there's some legislators who consider themselves the godfather of MWBE. My work is not done yet, right? So
Okay.
I've got some more time. But to your point, it is a commitment, right? And so we have to make sure that we are cultivating a group of serious business owners who have that grit and resilience to complete the program, because it is at this point it's like 15 months, but it requires participation,
Yeah.
involvement, communication.
I know somebody who I think would be great for this program. So I'm definitely going to recommend them, Michelle. And we talk about some of the monthly lunch and learns. Michelle, say more about that.
Certainly. Well, there is a recognition that Syracuse and Central New York has a strong MWBE community. And as such, the Business Growth Accelerator program is a perfect opportunity to convene that community on a regular basis. So with respect to the virtual monthly lunch and learns, for example, a couple of weeks ago, we featured Dr. El Java Kadir Abdul with Micron, who shared essentially the procurement process for Micron. And we have New York State agencies such as DOT, and just yesterday, touched base with the Office of General Services, OGS, who's interested in doing an info webinar. So we'll replicate that type of training on a monthly basis, so that people understand what opportunities are available and how to take advantage of the contracting and procurement process. And then apart from that, as Charlene has alluded to earlier, we will also have or host quarterly networking events in person on site at the MWBE businesses, and we'll bring that community together, inclusive of municipal and county employees in the MWBE space, technical assistance providers, those in the construction industry who actually have opportunities available, of course, the MWBE cohort, and those who may not be in the cohort but think this is a great program, and perhaps are not able to participate because of the criteria. So we'll just bring them all together and essentially let opportunities abound. And you're on mute again, George.
Happens, I have to stop and clear my throat. And so we're talking about the Central New York Business Growth Accelerator 3.0. Registration is now open. And let's clarify who this is. Black and who's eligible for this? What is it? Black and brown? Is it everybody? Who?
So by New York State standards, so I'll give you the New York State standards, and then Abner is going to clean it up because there is some flexibility where they are able to make that determination. So GA across the board is MWBE certified women and minorities in construction and construction adjacent industries, generating $500,000 to $5 million in annual gross revenues a year. That being said, on paper, I'll now turn it over to Abner.
No, I think you articulated it very well, Michelle. We are targeting companies who are owned and run and managed by minority and women-owned businesses, right?
All right. So
what we've found is that, oftentimes we have these programs where the majority business owners want to get involved, right? And so we've received clear direction and clear guidance from the state that these are funds that have been allocated for this particular demographic of businesses. However, one of the things we did or are doing is that we've also invited the majority contracting industry to be a partner. And so when you think about all of the mega projects that are happening, the general contractors and the large construction managers are usually the first to the table. And so, again, I keep going to, we can talk about I-81, right? But there are other, so downtown Syracuse has about $2 billion of potential contracting. So you have hotels, you have affordable housing, and retail development. And so what we're saying here is that if you're a general contractor, you could still be an affiliate partner. Why would you want to be an affiliate partner as a general contractor? Because we interface and are connected to Empire State Development, who has an annual budget of $140 to $200 billion annually. So they're the big elephant in the room when you think about development project. So if you're a majority contractor, this program is designed for minority businesses, but you can be a partner to win the work and then be committed to farming out and carving out that work for our businesses. And that's the model we're deploying in New York City, and we think it could be national.
And and you've had success there. Let's get it right back down to it. So I'm looking on the website. Looks like we passed that deadline. When is the deadline to submit, and when does the program start?
Charlene?
So today is February 12th is a current deadline for us. We are hoping
So
that folks who
today,
are,
by the time people see it, it won't be February 12th anymore.
no, it will not be February 12th. So because of the overwhelming interest in the accelerator, we have extended the deadline. Ideally, we would love to have folks have their applications in by next week on Wednesday. I believe at the latest, and I think you will air on most likely on Sunday.
So
So
today is Sunday. Today is Sunday, and that'll be the 19th. So this is the whatever day this is.
yes,
16th. We got it.
the 16th, and the program is slated to start on February 26th.
And so, yeah, we not a lot of time, but get it in so we can get you screened. And I got to call my guy and make sure he gets his in, because I think you're going to say something, Charlotte?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kilpatrick, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I just said I got get my guy in. Go ahead. That's all I was going to say.
Okay. So the only other thing that I was going to add is that obviously time is of the essence here. We wanted to come to you because we know you have a finger on the pulse, specifically of the Black and Brown communities. And it's very important when these types of opportunities exist for our community to show up and seize the opportunity. So we certainly want to get as many businesses enrolled. And what we need them to do is go online, fill out that application, fill out the intake form. There are documents that they will be required to attach. As long as they fill out that intake form, we can follow up with them, answer any questions that they have, and move the ball so that we can get them approved by Empire State Development, right? And even with the $500,000, I want to add this other footnote here. Even with the $500,000 kind of floor for this, the threshold, we are really advocating very heavily for our businesses, because while that's the model, we realize that oftentimes our smaller businesses here do not meet that threshold. So we encourage them to please apply. If they have a question, please call, and let's work through the requirements so we can
Here's another elephant. Here's another elephant. You talked about certification, but do they have to be certified at the time of application?
Yes. So the policy for the state is that at the time of application, the firm has to be New York State certified. Now, I'll put an asterisk to that by saying that if a firm has an application pending, that means you've already submitted your application. We then could do a little bit of advocacy and lobbying on your behalf,
Okay.
To push that through. But that application has to have been submitted at the
All
time.
right. And so here's another pitch from Michelle. She's doing some work in this area. Ricky Brown, y'all get to these folks and get your certification so you can take advantage of these opportunities that are coming. All right, it's the Business Growth Accelerator 3.0. What is the website that they go to?
So the website, well, for Central New York, I think Charlene has the Central New York link.
So if there's a link, I'll tell you what.
Alacrity Analytics. It's www.alacrityanalytics.com /CNY.
Okay, we got it.
All right. I'd like to interject there about the application process, even though we're talking about short timelines.
Yep.
The application is relatively short in comparison to becoming certified. So I would even submit that if a person is state certified, 9 times out of 10, they already have the very documents they need to apply for the program, because becoming certified with New York State is far more extensive than the documents that Alacrity and A.L. Consulting is requesting of them.
Michelle Rolling Enterprises, Charlene Tarver, Executive Director, Central New York Cohort for the Business Growth Accelerator, and Abner Larrieux, he is the prime contractor for this effort. The deadline is extended to this Wednesday, and you have, they're going to get this kicked off the following week. So get on this opportunity that's going to change your life. And I'm going to, as soon as we're done, I'm going to call somebody that I know who should be applying for this. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to send them the link. In fact, I'm going to copy the link right now.
If I could put it, I'll put it in the chat for you. Let me do that.
Yes. I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to say, brother, because this dude, I hope he's certified. That's the only thing. I hope he's certified. But
yeah.
This guy, this would be good for him. Abner, good to talk to you. Charlene, good to see you. Michelle, good to see you as well. Business Growth Accelerator, we've got great opportunities to grow here in Syracuse and Central New York. Don't say we didn't tell y'all. We told y'all that there was some, that Charlene's been saying this for a minute, and so is Michelle, that there's opportunities here in this community. I mean, look, Charlene is here for that very reason. And so let's make it happen, and let's continue to do the good work, because there's money to be made. And there's
on that note, this is for the audience, this program is about money.
yes.
But again, this program is about money and contracts, right? So as an example, in our recent program in New York City, we delivered $54 million in contract awards with countless success stories.
Wow.
So this is about building your business, creating legacy, and generational wealth. I think this is a historic time to be involved in this.
And before we came on the air, I shared a story about a business issue that I was going through, and all 3 of these experts had something for me. So they got something for you, y'all. And I'm looking forward to seeing that my boy, who I'm going to send this link to, is going to get in, and he's going to thank me, and y'all are going to thank me, because he's going to get in this program, and we're going to make sure that happens. Thank you to you, Abner. Continued good luck, Michelle, Charlene as well. I've got the link. Wherever you see this or whether you hear this, the link is there. Apply today, okay? Apply today. George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation.
Thank you.